Appearance on Dion's Daily Dose does not imply endorsement from or by any candidate or guest. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by Dion Bergeron or Dion's Daily Dose are his own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of any guest. Material and information presented is for general information purposes only. The Dion's Daily Dose name in all forms and abbreviations are the property of its owners, and its use does not imply endorsement of or opposition to any specific organization, product, or service. If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Dion's Daily Dose. So tonight, I had actually this thing all planned out where I was going to compare the various Republican candidates and talk a little bit about the DNC versus the RNC and the difference in the way that they're organizing versus the way that the RNC is organizing. I'm still going to do that. But first, before we get to that, there is actually something that happened earlier today that I want to show you, because this is exactly what's wrong with our system, right? This is exactly what's wrong with the politicians who make the decisions that affect everyone else. All too often, they don't think that these things apply to them. Now, one perfect example I can give you is Mayor of Chicago, right? She said, oh yeah, we're instituting all this. She even got on TV today. Was it today or yesterday? Yesterday, where she's like, oh, we're going to start, calling the police on you and locking you up if necessary. If you act like a criminal, you're going to get treated like a criminal. The rules don't apply to her because she went to get a haircut after the social distancing guidelines. Now, I have made it very clear that I think we've had a very overblown response to this, given the numbers, and it's very difficult to make intelligent decisions when we have flawed numbers. We have numbers that are being rolled back. We have far less deaths than what were being initially projected, right? Hundreds of thousands were supposed to die in a very short span of time. Am I saying that this virus doesn't exist? Of course not. Of course it exists. But the numbers don't add up. And anyone who speaks out is getting censored. People who talk about it, the doctors from California, if you haven't already seen it, they pulled their videos down from YouTube. They told them, no, you can't speak that. We have a member of Congress who is writing letters wanting YouTube, Google, and others to decide what we can and can't hear, right? Anything that goes against the WHO should be censored. I am not for that. Information is information. It's what you make of it. Let me get a little more back to topic here. So one of the pages that I follow on Facebook, this was posted. It is a picture of Mayor McDermott's house. As you can see, this picture was taken today, according to the person that took the picture. And as you can see, there is not social distancing going on. Here's the thing. If you just waited till tomorrow, they're starting to open up. Now, I've heard that Lake County has different rules for that. But the point is, you can see that there are a lot of people. Now, I went to see if this was actually going on while I could get over there. And you can see that the yellow picture that's there is a happy birthday picture with a big quarantined on it, right? Everybody had scattered by the time we actually made it out there, so I wasn't able to get. That's what I want. What I wanted to do was go there, document it, and say, "Hey, what is this okay?" Because we've been doing what we're. My son could have had a big birthday party, but he couldn't, right? Because of these social distancing. There are people that are not seeing their grandchildren or their grandparents because they're following the rules. And just so we're clear, I understand completely that it is not just one party that is doing this. Unfortunately, we saw a thing today where our own governor, right, did the same thing, said, oh, we're going to keep this social distancing in place. We're not going to allow you to open your business, but I'm going to go out to eat. That's perfectly fine. These politicians believe that the rules do not apply to them. They think they are better than you. They think they are better than me. Look, I am no better. I am no worse than anyone else. I am a regular American dad, and the rules should be across the board. They should not apply to one particular entity, one particular party, one particular group. That's the definition of improper procedures across the board. Discrimination. I mean, discrimination is treating someone differently, right? So I'm not going to get into all the identity politics and all the stuff that people jump up and down and ride the bandwagon on. What I am going to say is, for someone who was so gleeful about ticketing a church for having a service, we have someone who is ignoring his own rules, who is going against his own rules. It's insane. It's mind-blowing to me that we have people like this. And this guy wants to represent all of us. He wants to represent the 1st District in Congress. Can you imagine? This is the guy who said he wants to be Pelosi's soldier. Unreal. So before I get more into it, I wanted to show you, this is what we got yesterday. We went out and picked up, we went to Manic Meadery. I didn't have the bottles with me. They were in the front, but this is what Liz wanted. She got the Elliott. They were out of the breakfast. They sold out like that on the breakfast blend. That's the one she really wanted. This is the Elliott Blueberry Mead. And we haven't tried that one yet, but this one here is a cider. It's actually Traverse Cherry cider, and it's good. It's good. It's not as sweet as we thought it would be, right? Which is a good thing. That's one thing that I was concerned about, is that it might be, overly sweet, but it's good. If you haven't, if you haven't hit up Manic, I would. So here's what I'm going to get into on the DNC versus the RNC in Northwest Indiana. When we went to Al's here in Michigan City a while back, this was when the presidential debates were still going on, before, the social distancing and all that stuff. We went to Al's to get groceries, and there was a young guy there, about 18, 19 years old, I'd say. And he was standing there with a clipboard, and it was snowing really hard. And it was cold. It was just dreary and ugh. And he goes, hey, would you be interested in signing this petition in order to get a certain individual, Bloomberg, right, on the ballot for president, right? And look, here's the thing. He's getting involved. Good for him, right? I even asked him, I'm like, I don't agree with Bloomberg or his policies, so I can't sign that. He goes, well, I don't either, right? My person is Elizabeth Warren. Hey, fine, right? I don't agree with her either, but he was doing stuff that he didn't even really believe in. He doesn't like Bloomberg. But the DNC was able to cultivate young people to go out and get involved and get signatures, right, to do things that they wanted done. We are not doing that. We are not motivating. We are not mobilizing. We are not getting the young people involved the way that the DNC is. And this is something that I've talked about before, not on a stream, but just in general. As Republicans, right, the interesting thing to me is students, especially seniors, juniors and seniors, and first-year college students are actually very, very conservative now, because the pendulum has swung the other way. They've seen the identity politics. They've seen the anti-free speech movement happening in colleges, and they want no part of that. The pendulum has swung the other way, right? Sorry about that. Knocked the mic over. Why aren't we tapping into that? Why aren't we reaching out and saying, hey, come, get involved? They are more conservative, possibly, than they've been in a very, very long time. They enjoy capitalism. They enjoy the fruits of capitalism. They want no part of the extreme progressive policies of the new DNC. They've done a really good job of holding on to this district for a very long time. But I believe that the winds are changing, right? The winds are blowing differently. If we are going to stand a chance at flipping this district red, right, we're going to have to reach out and connect with the young voters. We're going to have to show them why capitalism is good, trade is good, socialism is bad. The only difference between a social democrat is patience, right? Socialism versus communism. All socialism is a patient communist. It all leads. Are there socialist programs in the United States? Yes, there are, but they are under a representative democracy. When you simply open it up to socialism and communism, it's not going to end well. So I'm going to share something else with you guys. In case you have not seen this before, when I had one of my opponents on, I showed him a graphic that a gentleman had made and asked for his take on them. I actually have to get in touch with that gentleman so he can update the graphic. But let me find it for you, and I will show you what I'm talking about. In the meantime, we as Republicans for the 1st District, it is really, really important that we speak to the young voters, that we tell them your opinion matters, because that's what the DNC has done that we haven't. They have shown them that we listen to you, we care about you, right? So why are we not doing that? Why are we not reaching out to them and talking to them and saying, hey, we care what you have to think. We care what you have to say. We care what you think. We care what you have to say. What can we do? There it is. What can we do to help you, right? To help you become more involved, to help you be there it is. To help you become more involved in the community, involved in the elections, to turn out, to vote, to talk, to see that your voice matters. And unfortunately, I believe that the DNC has done a much better job than we have on that. And that's unfortunate, because that's interesting. Why is it doing that? Hold on. Is it still black? It is. All right. Hold on one second. I'm going to remove this. I'm going to add it back. I don't know why it's like that, but whatever. We'll fix it. No worries, right? So let's talk about why some people are not following the social distancing guidelines. Here it is. I think it's working now. There we go. So the governor, right, of Indiana, the mayor of Hammond, believe they're better than us. And it's not just one party. And I'd like to remind everyone that Governor Holcomb was actually on a list that was found to be extremely friendly. Sorry about that. I've been having issues with Firefox lately. with it crashing, which is really unfortunate because I like Firefox. I don't want to go to using Google. All right, let's see. Can you guys see this? There we go. So I've touched on this before, especially during other streams. I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of time on this, but I'm going to maximize it here so you can see it. This is a graphic designed by Jordan Sirota. He actually did one for the Democrats as well. It's a quick comparison of our stances, the Republicans running for the nomination for 1st District, and where we stand on various issues. We all want to decrease the national debt. We would all like to audit the Federal Reserve. I would actually like to abolish the Federal Reserve and nationalize money printing the way it should be. Allegedly, we all want to decrease globalization, but there's a candidate that does not oppose NAFTA and TPP, which I'd like to remind everyone is massively globalistic, right? Massive globalization in those plans. Oh, okay. So Connie has something. Thank you, Connie. I appreciate that. It says, we used to have a big Hammond Young Republicans in 1983. I organized it to get chartered. Charlie Callis also is president of Lake County Young Republicans. So candidates have to research what is there, and then we all work together. I agree. Here, let me take that. Thank you for that information. That's another thing that I will say is, like, for example, Nathan Patrick he runs Young Republicans, at least in Michigan City, or is it LaPorte County? I know it's at least Michigan City. And I don't feel like there was enough communication in the party. We've seen the DNC just organized. That's my only thing. Do we have it? Probably. It's probably out there, but I think we need to do a better job of communicating with each other as Republicans. We've seen, at least I have, again, the DNC recruiting people to get people on the ballot that they don't even believe in. So the Patriot Act, that's been a big thing for me. The Patriot Act is what opened the door to many of the issues that we have nowadays as far as our rights, as far as people being under surveillance, as far as being able to utilize data. That's actually kind of comes to a head, right, with seeing people and seeing overstep on a government basis, right? I don't want to say trampling our rights, but really that's kind of this. It was started because it was sold to us under the guise of we have to be able to protect ourselves, right? We have to be able to protect ourselves. The Patriot Act will allow us to do that. It will allow us to take care of those that should be taken care of and put surveillance on those that we shouldn't. And I believe firmly that it should be repealed. Let's face it, none of the stuff that the Patriot Act has actually done has done much. We see. Oh, okay, Connie, another post. The problem is not communication. I apologize. Then it's out there. Our problem is that people do not want to get involved. Okay, all right, fair enough. What would you say? Do you think it is because it's been so traditionally Democratic held, or do you think that it's just a generational thing? Because like my grandparents were very involved, right? They were constantly getting stuff in the mail. They were constantly making the phone calls and talking to people and all of that. Parents, not so much, right? My mom had very strong political beliefs, but I didn't see her doing anything. She'd vote, right? My other family members, I would see them vote, but I didn't see them actually getting involved politically. Other than, voting, definitely, like I said, like I've said many times before, even if you don't vote for me, go vote. What do you think that we can do, Connie, in order to help people to want to get involved? If it's not a communication problem, where do you think the solution lies? Because I'd love to help. I'd love to help people get involved, to show people that, hey, it's not pointless. We can turn this district red. We can do what needs to be done. We don't need more career politicians. And unfortunately, the front runners on the left, that's what we're dealing with. We're going to have the same thing that we had. It's Pete Visclosky 2.0 in many cases. So we have to reach the people, right? What do you guys think is a good way to do that? What do you guys think that, and Connie, anyone else out there, how can we talk to the people? How can we reach them so that they actually want to get involved? Because for me, that's what I've heard when I've talked to people in the past and been like, hey, you can volunteer, you can do this, you can, call your local party, do this. It's the thing that I've received is, well, it doesn't matter because it's Democrat controlled and it's going to be that way and it doesn't matter. That's the response that I've received when I've tried. Let's see here. Okay, Connie says we need another superstar candidate like Trump, or back then was Quayle and Lugar and McDermott Sr. And as you said, too many years of Democrat propaganda. Yeah, the propaganda is part of the problem too. For what also, kind of little side note, speaking of Trump, I was looking for an online version of the town hall, and I couldn't find it. I was actually on YouTube. I was going to do that and postpone my my live stream, but I can't find it online. I looked on YouTube. I looked. I don't have cable TV anymore, so I don't even know if I can watch it. I'm sure someone will have it afterwards. I'd like to watch it live, but again, I couldn't get it. I will say this about Donald Trump. People love him. People love him. There's all these polls, right, that show that that he's losing ground. These are the same polls that said that Hillary Clinton had a 95% chance to win, which goes to my next point. These people that are building up massive war chests to run for this office and others, the one with the most money doesn't necessarily win. Hillary Clinton outspent Donald Trump by, I want to say almost a 2-to-1 basis. I know it was a lot. Money doesn't equal the win. It's up to you, the voter, to pick who you want to represent you. There are issues, right, with every single candidate. There's not a single perfect candidate on the list, right? I don't have any representative experience, but neither does anyone else on the Republican side, right? We're all first timers. I am not about to sit here and attack anyone on a personal level. We are better than that. I want to make that absolutely abundantly clear. I'm not about to get into personal attacks. I can't stand that. Simply focused on policy, though, and simply focused on availability. I think it's important that you be able to reach a representative. I can't point specifically to a person that does not answer, but I've heard from multiple people that they have trouble reaching other candidates when they have had questions about their stances. So that's a problem, right? You want someone who's going to be there. You want someone who answers. Okay, hold on. Let's go back to the comments here real quick. Connie says we can't even get committee people because of harassment, and committeemen help groundwork door to door representing our candidates and Republican leaders. Right. That's the other thing that's really, really critically important. I'm glad you brought that up, Connie. And this goes back to something that we talked about before. Since when did it become okay to attack someone for their political beliefs, right? To attack someone because they support our president, Donald Trump, right? You can't even wear a hat without getting attacked, without being called this name or that name. The only reason that I don't have Trump plastered all over my truck and the front of my home is because my wife was concerned about the safety of my children. How disgusting is that? How sad is that? It infuriates me. I am tired of it. When I spoke at the FOP, they had a candidate forum. And the first thing I said was that I'm tired of the hate, right? When we had this guy on the left talking about wishing people would die, crickets and the clink of silverware, right? No one had a word to say about it. But when he talked months ago, and it was even in Newsweek, about how he wanted that if Trump won, he was going to become, quote, one of those Second Amendment people, because he was going to stand up and fight tyranny, because a president winning a real election driven by the people is tyranny. Seriously. They had all kinds of things to say. They denied. They're like, whoa, that's not us, right? That's not us. Propaganda. That's what it comes down to. We know that Obama, during his term, actually made it to where propaganda is legal again in the United States. I've seen this posted multiple times. I've read the story associated with it. It's true. How is that okay? It's not. That's why our news agencies, and I use the term very loosely, news agencies, that's how they're able to get away with what they're able to get away with, right? The Trump administration has filed several lawsuits, and I get that there are people out there who don't believe that Donald Trump is a good presidential representative, right? And that's fine. You can have that belief. I think he's a great president. I think he's done more for the American people than anyone in my lifetime, right? That's really all I can say. You have to look at it. Stop listening to what the media is portraying him as and start looking at his actions. Start looking at the things that he's actually done. Do I disagree with some stuff? Yes, I do. I happen to think that, he should have stuck in there on a few of the Second Amendment issues. I disagree with his understanding there. And I'll call that out. I have no problem saying it. If there's something that I don't agree with, I'm going to speak up on it. And I think that that's important too. Yes, I understand that in order to carry this district, we're going to have to kind of run on Trump, as it were. But there's nothing wrong with standing up and saying, hey, I don't agree with that, right? He didn't do this. Okay, Mary said, I will gladly walk with the Republicans. Democrats don't scare me. They're a bunch of hypocrites. They are hypocrites. That's the thing that kills me. It cracks me up. So those of you who don't know this story, right? I had got the Second Amendment flag on the back of my truck, and I was going to get the Trump on a tank meme on my truck as well, on the hood. I was going to get a big one, and my wife begged me not to do it. Right? She said she knows that I will gladly speak up for what I believe in. I will stand up. I will say, this or that. But because of the hate that's out there, because we see people getting attacked for wearing a red hat. There was a guy, right, who had a hat that said "Make 50 Great Again." It was his 50th birthday. He got attacked in a bar. A person didn't even read the hat. They just punched him because it was a red hat. That's why I didn't do it. I focused on the Second Amendment rather than Trump himself, because of that. I have no problem wearing my hat. I have no problem because I am a proud Republican. I support my president. Oh, wait, Scott Rakos says, I saw Charlie in the starring role for a Democratic campaign commercial. Wonder why there is the Republican Party in Hammond is so weak. I have not seen that commercial. That would be interesting. If you can link that, I'll take a look at it. One of the things that are necessary, though, for us is to counteract that propaganda. Now, we can only do so much. I will give you that. People don't want to research. They don't want to learn the truth. They don't want to get in there and say, "Oh, I'm going to read this." They believe what's posted. Hashtag Facebook Medical, right? Well, I heard it on Facebook that if you do this and do that, then you're immune. People don't want to take the time to learn anything. And I'm going to tell you, not everybody. There are plenty of people, especially, you watching this video, more than likely you're not one of the people that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the ones that claim this and then do the exact opposite. Kind of like a certain mayor who gets giddy when he's able to issue tickets for people when they attend church, but has a massive party at his home. For those of you who maybe joined late, this is the party that was happening earlier today. Did I share it? Oh, there it is. There you go. I wanted to go there and get a video of it myself so that I could personally say, yes, I witnessed this. Now, I have no reason to believe that the person who posted this was untruthful, but I'm a big believer in me myself having direct knowledge of anything I talk about. We did go by there just real quick, and this is the sign. If you can see it, it says "Happy 20th Birthday, Tommy, Quarantine." This is the sign that's barely visible here in this picture, right? So I can say that, yes, that's the location. And by the time we got by there, the garage door was closed, and this was over with. These are people who believe that the rules don't apply to them. They are above us. They are superior to us. Mary says, when Trump ran the first time, some high schoolers were going to throw bricks through my mom's window because they had a Trump sign in our front yard. Right. Not because Trump is really a bad person, but because the media has groomed these people to believe the lies. They have shown these people clips, badly edited things. They have made outright false claims, like Trump said, "Oh, there are good people on both sides," when he was talking about racists. We know that didn't happen. We've seen the real video. Look, that's like this whole, their new thing is, oh, Trump called the virus a hoax. Trump called the virus a hoax. No, he didn't. Connie says, it never stopped me for 45 years or 50 years, and I have scars to prove it. Find out the story about the preacher, Steve, on WJOB, and Marsha Haney, a news reporter. Rakos likes to run his mouth. Why do you read his crap, LMAO? Yeah. We know that Lake Station politics is just a nightmare, right? We need a candidate who is willing to take the attacks, right? Who is willing to speak their mind. Oh, Lake County. I'm sorry, I meant Lake County. She's but yet can still correct me. You're right. Lake County, not Lake. I don't know why I said Lake Station. I was looking at something else. Lake County politics. I guess I said, I don't know. Lake County politics, Northwest Indiana in general, right? Little Chicago. That's what we've been called. We need someone who isn't afraid to censor themselves. The only thing that I have done is focus on the Constitution rather than the president. I still believe in both, just because I don't want my kids to have to deal with that. For those of you who have not seen the back of my vehicle, I will see if I can find that picture real quick. I made a video that I'll drop. It's not the background noise. I won't say it's not very good, but the background noise is not the best. I was hoping to get it cleaned up and make it better, but in the meantime, let's see here. There it is. Well, that's the video. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Okay. So open this so you can see it on here. I'll share it for you. Connie says, I know he talked for his union, not for himself, or we Republicans. Right. I don't know. I don't know what he said. I haven't read the article, but I'm going to show you. This is what I believe in. I believe in the Second Amendment strongly enough to have it on my vehicle. I have had this for a very long time. It has my truck's dirty, but I had it over a year ago, possibly even as many as a year and a half, 2 years. Same with my license plate. Mary says we had to remove our bumper stickers off of our vehicles too. Sad. I swear I do have freedom of speech, but it doesn't give someone the right to destroy someone's personal property just because they don't like the candidate. I agree. And that's part of what's wrong. When you have representatives from Congress, right, telling people to attack people, that's a problem. When you have people wanting harassment and violence, you know who I'm talking about. People on the left want people assaulted. They want people, because they're not the ones doing it. They don't care about us. They don't care about the little people. They want people to do their dirty work for them. Just like we see these lefties that are perfectly fine with telling people you're going to go to jail if you open your business, but I'm allowed to go and get a haircut. I'm allowed to have a party. I'm allowed to do the things that you're not because I'm better than you. I'm more important than you. Connie says, if I decide to be president of Hammond Republicans, you will need sunglasses with all the bright red shirts. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Look, I have my hat. I've worn my hat. I have no problem wearing my hat. I have no problem wearing my Trump shirts. She just didn't want me to get it she didn't want me to get the Trump on a tank meme on my truck because, here, let's see if I can bring it up and you guys can see. If you don't know what I'm talking about, this is what I was going to get on the hood of my truck. There it is. Look at that. Right there. Any one of those, right? With Trump on the side of the tank there and the flag in the background. That's what I was going to get. And she's like, no, please don't do that, just because she was worried about the children, which, how sad is that, right? How sad that you have to worry about your personal property, that you have to worry about your children because of who you support, who happens to be the duly elected president of the United States of America, right? This isn't some crazy communist from another country. This is our duly elected president. And you have to worry about the safety of yourself your children. You have to worry about your personal property. I want to change that, right? I want to change that. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. That's my, like I said, it's dirty right now. I had the front done in red, white, and blue with a hand-painted American Eagle in the middle of the grill. I have the pictures. I'll upload those another time, and then you can see. It faded, and it didn't look good, and then did that already. You can take those. Yeah. Yeah, I did that already. Yeah. Kelly says, look at Vernon Jones, Democratic Florida state rep that has come out and endorsed President Trump's reelection. I applaud him for looking past the Democratic BS and truly working for the betterment of the people. Look, that is probably the single biggest example I can give as to the hypocrisy of the Democratic Party, right? I actually reached out to Mr. Jones. I was hoping that he'd get a chance to come on the show because I'd love to speak to him. This is a guy who has been a registered Democrat his entire life. He came out and endorsed President Trump for re-election because of the record low unemployment numbers for all communities, right? Record low unemployment in the Hispanic community, record low unemployment across the board before this whole CV thing. They actually blacklisted him. They told him they tried to run him out of office. They made him basically told him you need to resign, all that. And initially he was like, you know what, I'm gonna resign. I'm tired of this stuff. And he said, nope. You know what? The outpouring of support for him was amazing. It was absolutely incredible. And he said, "You know what? I appreciate all this. I'm gonna keep working for the American people." Yes, Mary says the difference between the Democrats and the Republicans is the Democrats are for themselves and the Republicans are for the people. Absolutely, absolutely. Look, this is what we had a forum at the Chesterton High School. In the gym. And I told them, I said, look, it comes down to two things. Democrats want more government. They want the government in charge of everything. Republicans want less government, and we want more personal freedom. But with freedom comes responsibility. So it just comes down to we are seeing the mask pulled off, right? We are seeing the blatant hypocrisy. In record numbers, we're seeing Nancy Pelosi, right, who tore up the State of the Union, one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen on the floor of Congress, tore up the State of the Union speech, right, and then talks to the American people about, in front of her, two $24,000 refrigerators, okay, with her, I think it's like $16 a pint ice cream, just stocked with ice cream. When I don't know if you guys have seen the new Trump ad that focuses on that. I wish I had a Brad Parscale because, oh my goodness, it is amazing. The ad is incredible. You should watch it. It's really, really good. But it goes to show that these people don't care about you. They don't care about me. They care about themselves. They care about that big paycheck. We've got, Dianne Feinstein, who had a Chinese spy on her payroll for over 20 years. Yes, I agree wholeheartedly, Mary. It's very simple. It really is. They are out for themselves, and I'm out for the people, right? Every Republican that I know personally is not doing this to get rich. They're not running for office so that they can be better than anyone else. We're doing this because we believe that this area needs a voice. It needs a voice that represents all people. And going back to my point earlier about Farrar, right? This guy coming out and wanting people to die, right? And not a one. I haven't seen a single one of the people on the left speak out against this. I sent an open letter. I sent it to, I put it on my social media. I sent it to the media. Crickets in the clink of silverware. I haven't seen anything from them. They They don't want to represent Republicans, right? By their silence, they must agree. That's all I can see. That's all I can say about it. I want better for us. I want better for the region. We have been under the left's thumb for far too long. And I think that we can do it, right? I know that the numbers are there. I know that the passion is there. It's the silent majority, right? We know that there are many, many, many people all up and down that support our president, but they don't have it on their cars for the reasons we talked about earlier. They don't have the big flag in front of their house. They don't have the bumper stickers on their cars. They don't have it because they don't want their property destroyed, right? It's unfortunate that that's required today. How sad is that? So I appreciate everybody coming out. I think that we really have to focus on someone that is willing to speak their mind, who's willing to show that they're not afraid to stand up for what matters, which is the Constitution, the Second Amendment. And remember that freedom isn't free, right? But it is worth fighting for. I believe very strongly in the freedom in this country. I believe very strongly in our constitutionally protected rights. And it's really important that we get people able to stand up, right? Able to speak out. Yes, Connie, thank you. Get local vocal. Absolutely. If you want to help, if you want to get involved locally, right? Talk to your local party. See what they can do with you. See how you can help. Pick a candidate, right? Not just for Congress, but for all offices. Local is just as important, in some cases even more important than the congressman who goes to Washington and votes on bills, right? Local affects you a lot more. Your district attorney, your judges, your mayors, all these people are critically important. Connie says she got really involved in 1980 with the constant flooding in the district. Used to just be nationally involved, but got very local vocal. Yes, local vocal is really critical. Find your candidate that you believe in, help them, but help the party as well. I think it's important that I clarify. I've said before, I'm not owned by the party, right? And I'm not. But that doesn't mean that I don't support the Republican Party, because I do. I have offered the use of my live stream. I will pull all of my stuff down, green screen it, write whatever they want. I've offered that. I think it would do us some good. Let's get, especially until everything is completely open and we're able to get out there. I want to help other candidates, right? I want to help the people that are running for judge. I want to help the people that are running for, commissioners and all of the local offices that are really important for us to carry or hold on to or flip, right? There are certain issues with various counties that are just, we have like one Republican in certain seats, and it's just not enough. It's not enough to make meaningful change that needs to be made. We need more, and we need to stand up. We need to be vocal. Connie nails it. Get local vocal, right? Speak up. Go to your meetings of your various planning commissions, your cities, your counties. Go speak up, demand accountability, demand change. And that's really what it comes down to for me, is transparency, right? I'm me. I don't pretend to be anybody I'm not. I show people what I am from the beginning. I'm, former correctional officer, former truck driver, just a blue collar guy, just a blue collar American dad that believes that we need someone to stand up for this district who isn't afraid to speak their mind, who isn't afraid to tell these people, hey, you're a hypocrite. You're an absolute hypocrite. So Kelly Miller says, I applaud you for holding these forums, even with other candidates for the same office. I've asked the Lake County GOP several times if they're planning any type of digital forum and have yet to get any response. Thank you for that, Kelly. I appreciate that. Look, I have offered everyone the opportunity to come on and to talk. It's not a debate. I would like to see a virtual debate. I'd like to see us do that. There are people who are trying, I will say that, but I was told, to his credit, I will give it to Delano Scaife. He actually came on. We had a good conversation. I believe that we pointed out, fundamental differences. And I have offered. Yeah, so that was the other thing. Delano Scaife, that actually wasn't the first time I had met him or talked to him. He was actually at the Michigan City St. Patrick's Day parade, walking with the rest of us there. He had his sign and stuff, but he was also out there walking and passing out candy for the kids. So I have offered the same opportunity to Spencer Lemons and to Mont Hanley. Mont Hanley, his campaign manager turned me down flat. Whatever. Spencer said that he wants to, but that's the last that I heard of it. So I do it because right now it's really important for the people to talk and hear what we have to say, right? You can't get to know someone in the very short span of time that this is allowing, right? We don't have big meet and greets right now. We don't have forums going on where people can come and hear the candidates talk. We don't hear this. We don't have this. So I felt that it would be a good opportunity for people to hear, us talk a good, serious conversation without being a debate. Some to that, some people have not. So all we can do is what we can do. So Dave says that RNC lost all Portage seats. We've got to get some back. Absolutely. Connie says Board of Works and City Council are very, very important. These are the people that are running that are running the city and putting the policies in place that you have to follow. Apparently, mayors and other people don't, at least if you paid attention in the beginning, which is unfortunate. It really is. Oh, so yeah, Dave says you set a fantastic trend for the other politicians to follow. Look, here's what it comes down to for me is I've never been in politics. Was not really my thing. But the only way that I can connect with the people right now is digitally, right? I was having meet and greets. I was going to go door knock. I believe in full transparency, right? You have to know who I am in order to know if I'm the proper representative for you. I was this, I did that, but it doesn't tell you who I am. It tells you what my career was. It tells you, the things that I did. It doesn't tell you who I am. That's why I do these. I appreciate the people that tune in, religiously every night, but it's a lot, right? It's a lot of time. Sometimes these things are usually like an hour. I was going to keep them really short, and people were like, I really like them. I like that you do them for longer. So I'm going to do shorter videos, just so you know, on individual topics, like, for example, the Second Amendment or the Constitution or just things like that. But it's hard to grab all that, right? All these long, nightly things and cram all that down into small issues. So Mary says, I think a digital forum would be cool. I think so too. So about that, again, there are certain candidates who are not willing to follow what everyone else will do. They're pushing back against the rules, for lack of a better term, right? They have these regulations where they're like, no, we don't want this. We want to be able to do that. We want to control this. We want to control that. I'm not going to throw that out there just because it's not my place. I have offered all the RNC from Lake County all the way to LaPorte County. You can use my platform. You can use my account for my streaming service. I stream, to multiple places. You can use whatever that you want. And I understand that, hold on, this chair keeps, it's really annoying. But I appreciate everybody, that comes out all the time and watches these. It's really hard to get all of the information out there that needs to be gotten out there in this format, right? But at the same time, I think it allows a good opportunity to look into someone's real situation, right? I don't live in a big house. I live in a very modest home in Michigan City. I am not some, rich, crazy politician in a $300,000 neighborhood. Let me see if I can. If you guys saw the flag that I have now in my front yard, you see my house, right? It's in Michigan City. It's not on a. It's not in the rich neighborhood. It's just a regular house and a regular. I can't find it right now. I'm not gonna dig through it, but it was the thumbnail that I used for when my buddy came over the other night. We've posted Liz, she did the heart hunters thing where you cut the hearts out and you put them in the window. So we did that. So that's basically it. I'm just a regular guy that believes that we can do better, not just as not just as a party, right, but as a community, because regardless of which party happens to be in power, which party happens to get elected, and which party goes to Washington, we all want the same things, right? We want safe neighborhoods. We want good jobs that allow us to pay our bills. We want healthcare that doesn't destroy us financially or physically, for that matter. Yeah, there you go. Connie said, well, I'll be over in 15 minutes. We'll have a yard party. There you go. We can do a McD, right? Look, here's the crazy part is the part that blows my mind isn't tomorrow doesn't that start stage 2 and then you can have 25 people or something? Why not just wait one more day, man? It's whatever. So coming up on the hour, I appreciate everyone coming out. I'm gonna, just so you know, I'm gonna be doing some more short focus, and I'm also gonna be running some social media ads very soon. Thank you to everyone out there who has had the money to donate. I really greatly appreciate it. Yeah, Dave, good point. We've got less than a month before the primary. Social distancing is soon to be lessened. It is definitely time to hit the streets, knock on doors. I'm looking forward to that. If you want signs, those who want signs and haven't emailed me yet, or shirts, let me know. We're getting more very soon. We ran out. If you want specific things covered on one of these live streams, let me know. Or if you know someone that you're like, hey, you know what? I'd like to see them come on. And that they will, or you want me to reach out to them. And about that, so we have reached out to Rainwater, the Libertarian candidate for governor. Initially, he said, yes, I'm very interested in coming on the show, but his house was damaged in the storm that they had down in Indy. So I was like, okay, no problem. Let me know when you're free. And that was it. I think it'd be an interesting thing. He's not, he's libertarian, running for governor. I think it'd be interesting. I had Strauss on. Why not? But I haven't heard from him back since then. And I want to touch on something else. So you guys know about the the attorney general thing that's going on. So I reached out. I had John Westerkamp on the show. I had also reached out to the other attorney general candidates, both our incumbent and the other guy who was running, Adam Krupp. Now, the interesting thing is Krupp actually dropped out, right? There's something about like $10K and that he has to pay for the fee, and he hadn't paid it, and the guy that he is backing hadn't paid it. Harder, I think his name is. I don't know. The whole thing's really, really odd. I don't know what's going on with it. I don't think I'm going to reach out to Harder to have on the show. Not because I don't like the guy. I don't know anything about him. But I just don't like the way the whole thing went down. I had reached out to Krupp. I had reached out to our incumbent. And I was more than happy to have either one of them on. But it's just too bizarre now. If you have money and want to donate it, I appreciate it. If you don't have money, if you're very tight, don't send me money. Pay your bills, okay? Don't go buy a big screen TV or send money to politicians. Pay your bills, pay your rent, because when this stuff is over, these mortgage companies, these landlords, they're going to want their money, right? Right or is irrelevant. It's going to come due. All this stuff is going to come due. Your light bill, all this stuff that's been pushed back is all going to come due. And I don't want to see anyone in financial pain because they sent me money so I can run social media ads. That's just, that's just the way I look at it. So let's see. Michelle K. Elliott wants to wait another month for health reasons. If you have a compromised immune system or are elderly, then I think you should follow, the advice of your doctor. Stay in. Kaminsky says, I'm so ready for everything to get back to normal. Miss sitting down at my favorite restaurant and eating taco and going out to sing karaoke on Fridays. Yes, I miss, because one of the few things that I did, like, normal for fun, was to go hang out at a restaurant with my buddy, right? We'd meet up. He worked crazy hours. Jim, the one who was over here, he works all the time before he got laid off. And the one thing we could do every once in a while was we could meet up for breakfast and sit there, talk, enjoy, breakfast at whatever restaurant. And we haven't been able to do that. Taking the wife out, we had to have a quarantine anniversary. I wasn't even able to take her out to a nice restaurant because we were all shut down, right? We were all locked down. I still have to make that up to her. I have some other stuff that I have to do. What are you going to do, right? What are you going to do? I got her Taco Bell drive-through because she likes Taco Bell, but that's not anniversary. That's not enough. I have to do something more. So worst case scenario, maybe we can, maybe if I win the primary, you guys can all join me for an anniversary / victory party, right? We could maybe merge them, have some really good food, and then prepare the real plan for winning the general. I think there are several people, though, really quick. I think there are several people on the Republican side that would make good representatives. Of course, I believe I would be the best. If I didn't, I wouldn't be running for the position. But you have to make your own choices about that. I think that it's really, really, really critical, important that we have someone that understands labor, that understands that unions play a significant role. And even though the union leadership is going to donate money to the left, the membership is what matters, right? The membership is what matters. So Taco Bell, yuck. I love tacos, but Taco Bell is nasty. I can't help it. She likes Taco Bell. There are certain things from Taco Bell that I like. I don't really care for the regular ground beef / sawdust mixture that they use. But I do like the steak. The steak, like steak chalupa supremes I get. I'll get the nachos. like Nacho Bel Grande, and I also get the burrito occasionally, the steak burrito supreme. She likes the Dorito Loco tacos, and she likes the shredded chicken soft tacos. So that's what we get from Taco Bell. My son is a steak quesadilla guy, and then the 14-year-old, he's a steak quesadilla guy. When they had the double steak quesadillas, he would get those, but they don't do those anymore, so we just get them two. The older one, the 17-year-old, he'll take whatever box, whatever the most food is. The boy eats like nothing I've ever seen in my entire life. It is crazy how much teenagers eat. I don't think I ate that much as a kid. I think it just gets more and more and more as time goes on. It is mind-blowing how much the 14 and 17-year-old eat. And then the 12-year-old, while he was here, the three of them together could polish off hundreds of dollars of food in a day. It just blew my mind. I'm going to go broke just feeding my children. I need this job. I need to become your representative so that I can feed these insatiable children. They never stop eating. Help me. I'm just kidding. So thanks again, everybody, for coming out, and I will see you tomorrow. I think I'm going to touch some more on this and what we can do to help people feel a little more comfortable, right? We have to fight against the narrative. If anybody has an online link that I can watch the town hall that Trump was supposed to be having on Fox, I would appreciate it. I can't seem to locate it online, and I don't have cable anymore. I cut the cord just like everyone. So yeah, Mary says they are literally walking disposals. I know, I have two teenage boys. They are. How can they eat that much? There's no way that food. Where does it go? Where does it go? It's like I call him 3 bale because he eats like 3 bales of food a day. It's nuts. So thank you. God bless you. God bless the USA.
If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose. This has been Dion's Daily Dose, hosted by Dion Bergeron. Executive producers, Sean Holgram and Michael Beebe. Copyright 2020. Dion's Daily Dose, all rights reserved.